Okay, there we go. For just a quick second there, my mic was like, yeah, I don't want to work, meh. It's my mic's fault, though. Was OBS deciding it wanted to be default instead of the thing that I told it to be. Yes. Woo! Indeed, woo woo woo. We have coffee. We have work to do. We have way too much sleep and yet not enough. I feel like I didn't sleep at all, but, I slept in many, many hours. My sleep schedule's so fucked, guys. Hey, Madara, I gotta tell you, man, emotionally, I am also all over the place. But, like, I don't know. Good and bad. The good is, the weather is letting up and it's been really beautiful. I've been walking more and that's been feeling really great. I have coffee in my hands and I'm happy with this. The bad is that the reason why I'm walking more is because a car broke down. I had to walk to a doctor's appointment this week, which I took the bus. It's not the worst thing in the world, but like it's just taking up time in my day for me to do things and compensate by staying up late, which is not good, and I shouldn't do it, but I kind of have to. So here we go. For those of you in Twitch chat and those of you in YouTube chat, hello, hi, shake hands, meet one another. I'm talking to both groups at the same time. This is not new for me, but it's new enough because I haven't been streaming all that much, so, you know. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm so sorry, dude. He seemed like a really cool guy, and his voice work was just phenomenal. It's just been a couple of hits, you know? Tim Curry, Dolly Parton, Peter Cullen, I didn't know very much about Dolly Parton. I wasn't necessarily... I had really only heard, like, one or two of her songs, but I've been learning a lot about her since her passing, because she just made such an impact, and it's the same with Peter Cullen. Like, he made a lot of... impact. I'm so sorry for your loss, dude. Oh my gosh. My coffee's too hot to drink, but I desperately want it. Okay, well, today, working on some commission work that is overdue, and I need to get back to work on the freelance that I'm on, so I'm intending to be here for at least a few hours, or at least a couple hours. I may step away to eat dinner, and then I don't know if I'll stream again after that or not, but it's about 3:30 now, so... Yeah, I mean, he was like the perfect voice for Optimus Prime, too. Like, I mean, really... I don't think anybody else could do it. Oh, I almost forgot. I need to, tell one of my clients I'm working on his thing so he can watch. Oop, that's not the right link. Ha 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 ha. Okay, 1 second. Sorry, guys. I always do this. I always say, like, yeah, I've got all my stuff in order. Checklist is checked out, and then I start streaming, and it turns out that I was completely wrong. I have to take a moment while y'all are here and hanging out. I would love to do this more professionally, just because I think it's a good way to keep myself accountable to doing my job, but man, is it hard sometimes. So 1 second. Okay, alright. My diligence, my due diligence is done now. I think that is the last thing. Here we go. Madara, I don't know the story. I know that it was, inspired by his brother for some reason or another, but I didn't actually hear the story itself. Okay. Yeah, you know, Midori, I think that's a really healthy way to cope with such a hit. Like, good on you, dude. Same thing too, like, you definitely don't have to feel like you need to share it, but if you do want to share it, like, obviously, you're welcome to. But sometimes personal things like that are just personal, and that's okay too. My coffee's still too hot, but I don't care. It's good. There's this, kind of a health food store not too far away that, has their own coffee roast. And it's like, it's not mind-blowing, but it is pretty good. And I am happy to have it. So let me see here. Where's that? What layer is this? Oh, right, that's what I'm about to use. Ha ha ha, silly me. I need these larger. There we go. Okay, so my client is asking me to make some adjustments on her armor and how I shade it so that it's closer to these references stylistically, like as far as like certain choices and things, heavily inspired by, but then also rendering out her face and hair so that way her face is darker than her hair is, but keeping it binary black and white. So that's what I'm doing right now. Yeah, Kevin Conroy was a bit of a loss too. Like that was my Batman, you know, like, and he still is my Batman. Well, 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 look who decided to join us today. Welcome. How are you doing today, Mr. Straw Hat? I don't like this pose anymore. I think I might have to, like, keep this leg here. This one's fine. I may have to scoot some things over, too. Bigger pauldrons seems like the answer here, very much. I think the core difference between these characters, though, is that, you know, she's, like, a bit more mage adjacent, where these guys are, you know, big, strong powerhouses. I do very much like Big Spear, though. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I think the closest, like, the closest other Batman I've seen that I feel hits the same marks that I'd want it to and feels like Batman is still also not Batman. It's Batman Beyond. And, like, I know that in the show he doesn't call himself Batman Beyond because that's pretty silly. But, like, it's just, nobody else got it right. Like, people have gotten it more right than others, and there's some really great Batmans out there, and if other people disagree with me because they're more educated on all the different kinds of Batmans, totally cool. I've literally just watched all the mainstream stuff, like the, I've seen, you know, most of the Batman movies, emphasis on most stuff, and then, you know, the cartoon series and the Justice League and all that, so, you know, oh, I'm streaming my art. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't turn off my privacy window. See, I told you I'd forget something. Thank you, Star Hat. This is why I need the coffee. Hang on, I'm gonna have some coffee. Oh my god. Okay, so yes, I am working. I'm so sorry. So yeah, I want to change this leg here. I kind of like the longer skirt. So let's... Let's keep that V there. I might even push it. Yeah, Raul Julia. Holy cow, what an actor. He did a, phenomenal job pulling bad movies out of the grime. And he did a phenomenal job on really good movies. It's just... yeah. I still think a lot about Steve Irwin. I think he might be the first celebrity death that I, experienced. You know, I was a kid, you know. I may have been a teenager by the time he passed. I can't remember. It was, like, I think at the beginning of my high school years. But, like, I used to get really excited for his show. I just thought he was really charming and you know, it's weird. He really pulled you in. And not just with what he was trying to talk about, as far as, like, you know, the animal he's talking about today, or the things that they go through in their lives, or, you know, all the cool informational stuff. But, like, he just seemed like a really kind and enthusiastic person, and he was adorable. You know, I was just as excited about whatever he was talking about as he was, every time. Because he just had that way. How he passed, and the things that he went through at that time, and the things that were said, was just... it really broke my heart. It's also one of those things, too, where, like, I was also worried growing up that his kids would be pulled into this celebritydom as they got older. Because, I mean, that's just kind of the way of things, you know? Like, and the truth is that that's kind of happening, but they seem to be following their dad's footsteps in that way, where it's, like, genuine and good, and, you know... Oh, Madara, it's cool to hear that. Like, these studies that you've been doing have been really good. Yeah, he was absolutely, Raul Julia was absolutely the best part of the Street Fighter movie. He's also the best part at Overdraw the Memory Bank, which is a terrible film, but I watched it because of, Mystery Science Theater. Oh, man. Oh, I just had a horrible thought. When, that's gonna be another celebrity hit for me, is the people behind Mystery Science Theater. In particular, I mean, actually, yeah, like, the core cast, like, the Pearl, Bobo, Brain Guy, Mike, and the voices for Tom and Crow for that particular group. Like, Pearl, too. Oh, man. I love Pearl. I love her so much. I was her for Halloween last year. That was a lot of fun. Okay. So I'm gonna make these bits coming down cloth that attaches with, like, a little metal claspy thingy, like jewelry. And then hanging down, separate from this sort of half-dress skirt thing, is going to be like a chain. Because I want to say reminiscent of these, but I don't want to just copy it, you know? I do kind of like the idea of there being some kind of drapery coming behind, but I fall into that trap a lot. But there's these ribbons with the triangles and the leather and stuff, and so having something else hanging, I think would be really cool. Oh yeah, Robin Williams, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, good. Madara, when a challenge becomes fun is like the best feeling. Because then it feels like success. Even if you end up not, like, pulling it through at the end like you wanted, it still feels like success because it was fun. And even if you do, especially if you do, it's like, oh, I had fun and I did it. It's great. I love that. Yeah. I was really sad to hear about Tim Curry, but I also wasn't necessarily surprised either. He's been in such poor health. And so in a way, I was kind of expecting to hear about it this year or next. Because he was doing the rounds, right? Like, there was an anniversary thing going on, and so he was really doing the rounds for interviews and all this other stuff, and there was a part of me that was like, they want to get this done. They recognize how bad things have been for him, and they want to get this done. That's the impression that I got. And I thought it was a good thing, because he's somebody who I think ought to have been heard from. I mean, he's an excellent actor, he's an affable guy. I really loved him in everything that he was in. He's another dude who just, like, brought the whole thing together. I still haven't seen Muppet's Treasure Island. I think I'm gonna have to do that tonight. It never feels like enough coffee, guys. Okay. I should probably... Honestly, Tim Curry is just one of those guys where, like, he's never really typecast, but he's always himself. If that makes sense. Like, I rarely ever saw him in anything that he wasn't just being Tim Curry, but he would play different roles and it would come off as those roles. So it wasn't just like, you know, him in every movie. It was a different character in every movie, but it was just so him at the same time. I know that's kind of a confusing way to put it, you know, but he's just so distinct. And, so, you know, being the butler in Clue and the, you know, Dr. Frankenfurter versus the Russian general going off into space in that one video game. Which is just, oh my god. I love that clip so much because he breaks character. He couldn't do it. And so he starts laughing and tries not to laugh while he's saying the only place where he's safe for capitalism is space. And that, I think, is just... It made that take. He had to laugh. It's way more fun that way. If it was totally serious, it wouldn't have been any good. Is the music too loud for you guys, or does it sound okay to you? I think Patrick Stewart's one of those guys too. Like, he's immediately recognizable, but he always just blended right into what his role's supposed to be. He is excellent in everything. Even when he's phoning it in, it's fantastic. I can't even name when I feel like he has phoned it in, but I think every actor has to at some point. Oh man. In Dune, he's the perfect pick, right? Who was he in Dune again? Was he... this is gonna bug me, I know this. But it's in the, oh, I can't think of his name. Anyway, the 80s Dune, hang on. Not Dude, Dune. '84, Yeah, Gurney! He was Gurney! Gurney Halleck. Okay. I kept thinking he was like, what's his face, Idaho or whatever. That movie's so bad. and I love it. I love it very much. I think it's better than the new Dune, because it's just got so much personality, and it's colorful, literally and figuratively speaking. I'm sorry, I'm looking at some of the pictures. It's just so good. I love Dune. Okay, I'm gonna have to skip this one. That's a distracting noise. Boink. You know what? I'm feeling a little bit chiller. Let's do Spyro. Let's do Year of the Dragon. Don't get me wrong, I love a good oboe, but that's starting to get a little bit much. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit though. It's like yelling in my ear. Okay, okay. I'll turn it up for you guys though, because I love you so much. You get more Spyro in your life. Okay. Alright. Yeah, it was the, that was the, blah blah blah. Brain Function. Crystal Chronicles soundtrack. And it's just super cute. Very, very medieval. It is very Ren Fair. Wait, why am I redrawing this part if it's the same in the original ink? Teehee, silly me. What am I doing? Alright, so what's changing here? Let's start down here. I mean, I wouldn't mind some Skittles on my face. Love Skittles. Maybe I should switch these up. This should be the blue. And this can be less blue. Yes, yes, visibility, clarity indeed. Cool, okay. Turn this to multiply. Oh, dude, Star Hat. You've not played Spyro? Or are you talking about Blunt Talk? Ah, wrong layer. Ah. I don't know what Blunt Talk is. I've never heard of it. Oh, yeah, yes. You know what? It holds up so well. It holds up so well. Whether you go back to the original ones and play them as they are, or if you do that remaster that, what is it called? Toy Box did? The same guys who did the remaster of, Crash Bandicoot. Genuinely, they did a great job. There's a lot of little features that they added too, like as far as like individualizing the dragons and the colors and some of the things that they did. Just, they nailed it. I had a couple of complaints, but they're really minor. Primarily, it's like, I feel like some of the bloom color that they did is just a little bit oversaturated, but, like, that's a me issue. Like, honest to God, like, if you get the time to play either the Reignited trilogy or, the original ones, do it, because it's worth it, and it's fun still. I don't know, I feel like it's really easy to kind of fall into the trap of, like, wanting to go back and play something, but not wanting, or not play, but, like, experience something that you loved as a kid, but being too nervous about it, and I'm not saying that you're feeling this way, but, feeling too nervous about maybe it not holding up as an adult, so you're like, I don't want to ruin the nostalgia that I have for this, but, that's not a problem. It's not at all a problem for Spyro. At least the Reignited trilogy. I can't speak to the other Spyro games after Year of the Dragon because I never played it. I played a little bit of the Game Boy Advanced one, and it was, like, not too bad, if I recall, but it wasn't my game, and I couldn't borrow it for long, so I never finished it. I was watching a friend of mine stream last night, and he had the Spyro music on, and I was like, man, I'm in the mood. I gotta play this again. I have a really bad habit of starting and then not finishing games, though, so, I'm trying to finish Cult of the Lamb. And then I want to finish, Tomacrops, because I've gotten really close. I want to start Bloodborne over and then finish it, because I love it. I loved it very much. My fiance and I started, Streets of Rage the other night. It's a lot of fun. I really like it. What I'm doing right now is I'm sketching over the original inks here to get the new costume design in. With that in mind, the parts that I'm doing on the upper torso, I'm not necessarily going to redo. It helps me to see the full vision if I just kind of get all of it in there. Plus, it gives me the opportunity to tweak a few things and whatever. Broken Blade, why'd you get nauseated? Was it, like, the way it moved? Or was it, like, the toxic, angry parts of your soul trying to let themselves out because the goodness was overwhelming? Was it possibly that, maybe? I'm just saying. It's a detox, and you should play it. Oh, you're gonna show those off? Okay, cool. Let me take a look. Final Fantasy 14. Is that the one with the road trip where you're like a prince and they're in a car? Or is that Strangers of Paradise? Oh, uh-oh. We're in a severe thunderstorm watch. Oh no! Oh no, my fiance has to take the bus home. Uh-oh. Hang on. Okay. Alright. I'm just asking my fiance if he wants me to meet him at the bus stop with an umbrella, because it's not raining currently, but apparently there's a thunderstorm watch today. Hey, Madara! These studies are awesome! Did you eyeball these? I really like the texture that you're getting from this marker too. It's just, I don't know what it is about like dry marker texture that I like so much, but it just adds a little something something to everything, and I think that especially the Metal Gear, it's appropriate, right? Because how grungy their other artwork is. I know you guys can't see what I'm looking at, sorry. But yeah, no, great work, dude. That's awesome. The frame rate only ever game that gets me like that is the original Mirror's Edge. Oh, I never did see the original Mirror's Edge. Is it maybe because like the turning on it is very tight? Like it's very fast. Feels like motion sickness, huh? That sucks. What was I doing? Oh yeah. Ugh, Metal Gear. Planning you can do this personally until, yeah, hell yeah. There's some really cool ones. If you've got, I don't know if there's any, like, Japanese stationery, like, novelty stores in Glasgow or in London. I'm assuming that there probably are. Just, like, even just, like, if there's a Daiso out there, they'll have some nice, like, calligraphy pens. But I have a suggestion if you can't find something decent in that way. You bought a set of just brush pens. Not a fan of those. Too watery. That's fair. There's some where it's like a bit inkier. Like if you get the ones that are like the handle is filled with ink, or you have to fill it with ink, or they have a cartridge of ink, something like that, and then the tip of it is literally a brush, like an actual brush. Those could be really good. There's empty watercolor versions of these. I would argue that these would probably not be good for that because the ink can leak out a whole lot of those, like the blue plastic ones. And the bristles are synthetic, and so they're like super smooth, and sometimes that runs a little different. Though I think some of the other brush pens are also. But let me see if I can find a picture of the one that I'm thinking of that's really like that I liked a lot, and then you can see what I mean. Hang on. But brush tip markers, like felt tip brush tip markers, can be really good too. Let's see, brush tip pen. Oh yeah, duh, it just comes right up. So Pentel is the brand, and the picture is not showing up. Why did it only show up in the other way? Let's do Pentel. You can buy them off of Jet Pens. Hello? Let me get my, handy-dandy, screen cap thing here. So, the thing with these Pentel pens is that, they come in different forms, and it's important to pay attention to, like, what kind that you're getting. Let me get this screen cap here. But you can get them off of Jet Pens, and they're not terribly expensive, if I recall. But they look like this. And so the handle, I don't remember if it's the whole handle that has ink in it that you can refill, or if there's a cartridge on the inside that you just, like, pop into place. But there's other ones, like this one, this Pentel here, I've had before, and I liked it a lot as well. It's a smaller tip. Whoa. It's a much smaller tip, so you get thinner lines, but I liked it because it felt really nice. And I haven't had this one in a long time, though. And then the last one that I'm going to recommend is Zebra pens. Zebra pens are a felt tip, and they come in different firmness, but the felt tip is very tiny. It's very small. Here's another screen cap I'm getting here right now. And so you get these really tight lines with it that look great. But this is more for fine lining with a kind of a thickness that you can add. Like, it's not too dissimilar from the brush I'm using right now, though mine's at a chisel and this one's at a tip, so I think it'd be more like that. There's an artist I follow on Instagram who does artwork for, he does inks for Scrooge McDuck comics. And I don't know if you guys have ever really looked at the artwork of Scrooge McDuck before, though I imagine, Madara, that you might have seen them around because I think they're more popular in the UK than out here. But the inking on those comics, historically, have been phenomenal. Like, just crazy good. You know what? I'm gonna get you guys a picture real quick because I forget the name of the artist, but it's just beautiful work. Both the Donald Duck and the Scrooge McDucks. Let me see. Maybe I'm thinking Donald Duck. Hang on. Yes. Yeah. Let me get a nice close-up here. Here's a cover. Copy image. Let me just make a new one from clipboard really quick. Like, I love this. I think the coloring is a little bit to be desired, but like, the line weight is just, it's so clean, it's so perfect. And the artist who did these was just, he was so beloved because of it. Like, it really affected the way that these comics are approached. Like, this sort of ultra clean, very expressive, very careful. It's really interesting that the halftones have yellowed like that. That makes sense, but it's just really interesting to see. And so there's an artist who I follow on Instagram who's been doing the modern ones, and let me see if I can find him too, because he is excellent, and he does it traditionally, and it makes me want to cry. Let me just do that. I know it's a detour, but I'm passionate, okay? I'm passionate. Yes, hello, Dante. Are you scratching up my chair again? Please. Oh, why are you wet? Oh, no. Sorry, I just wanted to pet my cat. He, like, shoves his... Stop! Oh, my God. He, like, shoves his whole face into the fountain, and it gets his whole head wet. Why? Why are you like this? He's very upset right now because I'm not paying attention to him, and... But I am, though. I'm petting you. I am Stop it. Here. Instagram on, mobile sucks, but... Is this not the guy who I follow? Paco Rodriguez? I feel like this is him. I thought I followed him. Alright, well, it's being bad on Instagram, but I'll share it to the Discords later on because it's so worth it. It's such an inspiration. So let me get back to work. Also, let me get rid of these rulers. Stop. Go away. Okay. What was I doing? I was drawing legs. I wasn't drawing legs, but I'm gonna be drawing legs because I'm not changing the design on that chest plate. Yes, hello, Dante. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, Duckman's good. But that's a cartoon. I know that's not what you're saying, but I made that ADD connection, okay? You know, it's another Disney duck that I think doesn't get enough attention, but I kind of like... I don't know, I'm wary of the day that he does get enough attention because of how Disney does things. But Darkwing Duck would be so good right now. You know, like we're getting a little bit lost in the superhero sauce, but it's also not necessarily unloved currently. It's just not doing great for like movies so much, it seems. But like people still love it. There's a burnout, but the comics are doing pretty well. Like there's been a whole bunch of them. There's avid fans, and if you're trying to get to, you know, a younger demographic to join in, that DuckTales show that came out over the last few years did really well, and I think they briefly had an allusion to Darkwing Duck in there. I'm just saying, I think it would be a good way to go. Even if they kept it to comics, which I think they do. I think there is still Darkwing Duck comics, but I've not read them. It's on my list. I need to collect more comics. It's actually one of the reasons why I've been opening up commissions more and like making more time for them. And like prioritizing the ones that I should maybe have been doing more of. But I need to get more research material. I need to find a new way of transportation until we figure out this car situation, because it's really not great. And I need to be more responsible. This move has been great and all, but it's how do I put this? I'm unmedicated with my ADHD, and it has a negative effect on how I deal with major changes, and I need to be more on top of that. And so I am putting in the active effort to be more on top of that. I shouldn't have to completely reset every time something happens, but I do, because that's the way that this, I don't want to call it a disability, but it's the way that it functions for me. And so I am trying to cut that shit out a bit. I'm coming out of a thing, okay? I'm doing good. How do I feel about these pants? Do I feel about these pants? She's got pants. Does she's got pants? I don't think she's got pants. She might Scott's pants. It looks like she might Scott's pants. Okay. I like the kneecap over the pants, though. I think that opens it up a bit. So I think I'm gonna keep this. Yeah, I would also be a little bit afraid about the Teen Titans Go treatment. Teen Titans Go finally found its own voice, and it started doing really well. Aside from being really popular, there have been a few episodes where I've been able to look at it and go like, oh, that was fun. And I never really actively watched it, but they did something a couple of years ago where they made an episode where they brought Freakazoid onto the team, and they were going after the Lobe, and they got the actual voice actors for both of these characters. Because I mean, basically, Teen Titans Go turned into a cartoon for animators. The creators of the show, they just wanted to have some fun, so that's what they did. Obviously, they had to do certain things a certain way, but that's why they got like that D&D episode. And they were able to just sort of go whole hog because they were left a little bit unchecked, I think. And so this episode kind of rang out like that to me. And I didn't watch the whole episode, but I did look at the scene where they introduced Freakazoid into the team, and I felt like they did almost everything right. It almost feels like Freakazoid. The only problem is that, one, the pacing that Teen Titans Go doesn't work for Freakazoid. He actually is a pretty slowly paced show, right? If you actually sit down and watch it, all the gags and stuff go by really quick, but there are moments where he's just sort of like sitting there taking stuff in. I agree, D&D episodes are always fun. But he just was manic because Teen Titans Go is manic, and so that's how they wrote it. they did a couple of really good homages to some of the jokes from the cartoon, and none of their child audience would have gotten those, which is fine. It's an homage, and that was cute, and I liked it. But that was like the main thing. I think that if anybody were to redo Freakazoid now, or to bring it into something like this, it's a fine line. It was actually a really carefully crafted art to make sure that it didn't feel as jarring as it could have been. It wasn't necessarily a little random. There was a little bit of that in there, but it was actually a very, very organized show. Everything kind of came together. There were a few gags that they would redo, but it was always for the characters. And Teen Titans Go just didn't do that. It didn't get it. And the best parts of it were from people who worked specifically from, or if the gag itself came from the original show. That's when it was the best. Sorry, I have a lot of thoughts about Freakazoid. It's like my favorite show. It's like one of my absolute favorites. I'm checking out the chat. With the DuckTales cartoon, like the reboot that had, it was good. It was pretty good. I didn't watch a whole lot of it, but the shows, the episodes I did, like, it was solid, and visually, I thought it was great. I thought it looked awesome. Darkwing Duck did appear on an episode or two. I recall that too. I thought that was cool. I'm the same way. I have odd ADHD, and I know. Oh man, and it's not that if plans change, I'm pretty good on the fly. It's that if there's a disruption in my life, so that disruption can be my sleep schedule, which will change everything, and then I'll have to like cope. It can be moving, which we did recently, and I've had to cope on top of all the other coping. It's been it can be like my fiance asking me a question while I'm in the middle of working, and then me having to stop working to address the question, and then have a conversation, and then turn around and try to start working again. And then it'll be like, not quite, they have to find the flow again. And depending on where I'm at, I have an easier time some days with that. I have a horrible time other days. Her legs are really long. Are they really long? Crotch. They're really long. Is that a bad thing? I don't think it's terrible. I think it's because the way I have her outfit, it makes her torso look smaller, and therefore her legs look way longer. And I think I'm gonna have to compensate for that. It's also that she doesn't have a head right now, too, actually. That would maybe help. Okay, yeah, no, they look fine. They look fine. Okay. Okay, cat, you're in my way. Yes, absolutely, Freakazoid was ahead of its time. And I think that was maybe a benefit of the show, despite the fact that I think it also maybe was the reason why it didn't last as long as it did. But, I don't know. At this point, I don't want to reboot for it. I would love for it to have been a thing that happened and that we can just look back on it. As a fan, when they brought back Animaniacs, I had that like question in my mind, like, do I want more Animaniacs? Could I be happy with more Animaniacs? And the answer was yeah, they did a really good job. But it brought up the question, like, all the other super nerds like myself out there were like, yeah, when are you gonna bring this and this and this back afterwards? And I started thinking about it, like, this is gonna grow sour soon, you know. It's very political at the moment, like the atmosphere of our world. It's not that it wasn't at the time that the show came out, but I mean, I think it's different in a way, sorta. I don't know. It just how do I put it? There's a fine line when it comes to shows like Animaniacs and Freakazoid of being topical. And I would say the same thing for like Family Guy. If you got too topical or too dramatic or too comedy focused or too anything else after you've established yourself in a certain way, it loses the charm. It's a fine tightrope balance of keeping it where it's at and still feeling fresh. And my concern with shows like Freakazoid and Animaniacs, especially Animaniacs, was at the time, because animators in California, which is where, you know, this is all coming from, and where a lot of the voice of these shows, you know, came from, when they get really politicized, which they had been at that time and are currently still, because there's been a lot of bullshit they've had to deal with over the last couple of years, it can become preachy and not fun, and that's what I was worried about. Or if they get too caught up in the, yeah, he's kooky, he's funny, he's random, how do we make this a little random? Again, it gets to be like, okay, too much, and then you end up with like Teen Titans Go, which, again, worked for what it was, but doesn't hold my audience, my attention. Am I or am I not everyone's demographic? Everything's made for me. Do it my way. The kind of fan I am. If I don't like it, it don't swallow. I don't know. I recognize that I'm being a little bit creatively selfish, but I am a consumer, as everybody else is, so I get to be. I don't think I like these pauldron shapes anymore. They just don't work with the other new shapes, so let me just get out of here. Get out of here. Shoo, shoo, shoo. If I just kind of make them a little smaller and let her arms get bigger, maybe we go opposite of her legs. Let me get that sort of, yeah, okay, this is coming into something that I think will work. Part of me is thinking maybe I should get more coffee, and part of me already recognizes that I should absolutely not. That was already my second cup. Let's see. Just looking something up real quick. Yeah, you know, work brain is a mindset to get into. I'm gonna take a quick moment here. I gotta use the bathroom. Times are going good. Having fun. You came at a bad time. I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. And yes, I had water. I promise. I promise I've had water. But I will be right back. I just have to run to the restroom really quick, and then, I'll get back to it. But it's good to see you, Cody. I'll be right back. Some new comedians just think that they can beat George Carlin, and nobody can do George Carlin because George Carlin already did that. I mean, and he's great. I like George Carlin. But the best thing about a stand-up comedian is that when they get up there and they're able to just, like, have their own voice is when they do the best. Anyway, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Oh my god, I remember this song. This is such like a fun minigame, but that song... So the minigame is, in one of the worlds Spyro has to go to, there's like a lot of ice and stuff. And there's, you know, your enemies are like the Rhinox, they're like the you know, big monster guys. And they're, ice skating, trying to... I'm trying to remember the ice skating thing, but it was like such a pain. You had to like protect... You had to protect a ballet dancer from a bunch of Rhinox hockey guys. And it was so annoying. It was fun, and I felt like really good doing it because at the end you're like, ah, gotcha. But man, this music. Ugh. Okay. Gotta figure out what to do for dinner tonight. Love it. Okay. I'm going to double up on that and make this one black and put it on top and go whop. And you're gonna become bleh. Like bleh. Like bleh. There we go. Let me see. We're going to take this. Dude, sorry that you're having tech issues. That sounds really annoying. So asking help for reference for an old cartoon. Just thinking to myself, I don't really do a lot of cartooning. Yeah, I do remember that. Should have left more of that the same. That one was always fun. Cody, are you talking to me or to Madara? Madara's traditional stuff has been kind of fun too. I've been really enjoying the like texture he gets from those markers. I'm a little bit bummed out. So I have an influx of work to do at the moment. I've got the comic I've been working on. I've got a deadline on Monday, and then then I've got this to finish, which isn't actually going to be a whole lot. I just got a really, really late start today. I mean, like, it's a lot because it's, like, reworking the outfit, but I mean, like, comparatively speaking, if I started earlier today, it probably wouldn't have been so bad time-wise. And then, I've got, a painting I need to get to as well. And I feel a little bit bad because I wanted to start that today, but, because I got up late, I can't make my way to, the FedEx or Staples or something to get it printed so I can transfer it over to watercolor paper. And I'm probably... I guess I could probably do that, like, tomorrow, because I have to go out anyway. I'm thinking out loud to myself. Sorry, guys. You're my guinea pig for my planning. Because I've got to go to a doctor's appointment tomorrow. And then, I don't remember where that is compared to everything else, though. I think I should probably pass a Staples on the way. Yeah. I got a lot of work to do. But I'm opening up, commissions, next week, for, traditional and for digital, because I gotta pay for some important things coming up. Like, you know, our car broke down, so I need to come up with, like, a new mode of transport because we can't afford what's going on with that. That's a whole thing. That's a story, unfortunately. But hopefully one that could be remedied sooner than later. Brain function. Until then, I need something, and I don't have a bike because I haven't bought one yet. We've only been here for like 6 months and I haven't needed one. I'd like one. I was gonna get like an electric one when I went back to sell my car, but then I used all the funds for my car to like pay for other more important things. So yay! Dude, Beanlight, it's really nice to have you like in chat too. Like, I see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm back again. Hurrah! Well, thank you, Cody. I love painting. I've always loved painting, and I just never get a real chance to do it because most of my time is spent on the grind. This has been, so Ryan's been doing these, traditional, like, commission things off of the, that website, Whatnot. And his work's, like, super, super awesome. But he, was recommending I try it out, and, that's partly where a lot of those paintings were coming from, was me giving it a go and seeing what I can do. The good news is that it's really fun, and I could do really well if I just sit down and really put my mind to it and make time for it. The bad news is that you have to sit down and take the time to really put your mind into it. It's like adding another job on top of my jobs, and I'm finding myself in a similar position I was in when I was in California, which is, I need many jobs. I need them so I can pay for things. I don't know if you knew this, but things cost money, and unfortunately, freelance is feast and famine, and I'm in this weird in-between spot where, I don't know. It's actually partly my fault too, just because I'm slow. I'm a slow artist. I think that is a, oh, that's why my pen feels weird. I never switched it back. I think it's a benefit for me that I'm a slow artist because I can do really good work that way. But it's, you know, comes with the problem of, you know, taking a lot of time, and therefore I don't get stuff done as quickly, and therefore I don't get paid as often. So trade-off. So I'm trying to get better at going faster, but half of that battle is time management, which is my weakest skill. as an artist and a human being who lives in a society that thrives on time management. Let's see here. I think this goes this way. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm really happy with that Zelda one. I want somebody to buy it. Oh, hang on one second. I'm gonna mute because my partner just got home. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Right. This gotta be moved up. That's gotta be moved up. Okay. Oh. So the old, okay, that sucks, dude. I mean, why not try one of the free host things though? Like, I know that having a portfolio site with your own like domain is like ideal in a lot of ways, but while it does look better, I don't think most ADs care as long as they can see your work and it's like clean and clear, right? That's really speculative on my part. Don't quote me. I have not worked with a lot of ADs. But that's the impression I've gotten through my own research and things. It's just that they care more about seeing your stuff than how professional it is. Not that they don't want it to be professional. They don't want to see necessarily unrelated things on your Instagram page, right? But that's my uneducated two cents. Why did I make curves on a curve in perspective? Cause I hate myself. Da 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 da. Curves on a curve in perspective. Just wrap it around. It's making me want to play Spyro again. I could play through Spyro for the rest of my life. It could be like my everyday game. I could totally do it. Year of the Dragon, I think, was maybe the first game I ever finished. I mean, I guess maybe Pokemon Blue was, but I don't know if that really counts, if that makes sense. I never did catch them all. But I did beat the, those big four, whatever they were called. But I don't think I've finished most of my favorite games. It took me 15 or more years to finish Link's Awakening, and it's not because it was a hard game, it's just because I'm distractible. But I love Link's Awakening. Then again, though, I finished all of my other favorite games, too, though, if I really think about it. I did finish... I think I'm just talking out my ass now. I don't know where my brain's at. I need probably to eat something. But I want to make more progress before I stop to eat. I have eaten today. I know how that sounds. I definitely ate today. Actually, okay, I made a smoothie today that was like better than it should have been based off of what the ingredients were. But there's I guess a trend, maybe not a new trend, but making your smoothies with beans in it. So you have like your, you know, fruit and your liquid and all that stuff, but you throw in also some beans for that extra impact of like fiber and protein or whatever. And so I did it. I used some chickpeas. I just took a can of chickpeas and I poured out a single serving of it, so I still have like partial chickpeas in my fridge. And I blended it in with my strawberries and peanut butter and banana and I stole a little bit of my partner's protein powder for the chocolate. And it turned out really good. It was really filling. It did a really good job. I feel like that lasted me through most of the day. 10 out of 10. I would recommend beans in your smoothie. I think this might have been one of my favorite tracks in this game. That would be pretty cool to do one thing. I mean, because that one thing would probably pay you for a while, too, depending on how they use it. Like, I bet... I hope, anyway, that their royalties are really strong. Because they use and reuse drawings like crazy sometimes. Oh, good. I'm really glad that that ended up being a lot of fun for you, dude. Hell yeah. Because it's like a fun combination, too. Definitely share some if you feel up for it later, because, like, it's cool. I like it. I like it. Picasso. Ugh. Don't mind the meowing behind me. He's mad because he's not getting dinner yet, but dinner doesn't happen for another 2.5 hours. I'm assuming it's dinner. He always does this. Yeah, you know what? I dropped out after Gold and Silver too. Actually, no, Crystal. I had Crystal. I liked Crystal a lot. I've played, Blue, parts of Yellow, Gold, and then Crystal, and that's where I kind of stopped caring about the games so much. Especially since, like, I don't know why I played so much Pokemon. I really don't like turn-based combat. I think maybe it, had a better pace, where I was just, like, sort of already used to it, but other games with turn-based combat I really struggled with. Because I got bored. I should put on the, Threads of Fate soundtrack after this one. Because that shit's good. There we go. Oh, cool. I didn't know that Bendy had other games other than that core, like those chapter ones, the big 3D ones. A friend of mine was a really big fan of those when they were coming out, though I'm not sure if she's been following up on it at all lately. She's been really into some of the glitch stuff recently too, though. Like, I think her big thing at the moment is, I don't know why I can't think of the name of it, but it's the glitch series with the robot vampires. We watched that thing together, and, like, I see why she likes it a lot. I am not so sure it got the attention that it needed as far as, like, the writing, but I'm also, like, super picky, so don't, like, you know, don't let my judgments be your judgments. It's a lot of fun. The animation was really fun. The drama, the melodrama was on point. It was very dramatic. That's one thing that Glitch does really well, is the melodrama. I can't remember this one as much, but I remember it. Maybe I should go this way. So it's like braided up here like that. No. Okay. Oh my gosh. Sorry, a child in the hallway of my apartment complex just, like, yelled out, and I thought it was my cats fighting for a second. It just totally got me. Ah, get back up there. Come on. Ugh. Trying to make her skin look darker by going heavier on the shadows. Yeah, buddy. I hear you meow, but I don't hear a please.
I don't know if you guys can hear him or not, but I'm being yelled at.
Sir.
Uh-huh. He has many things to say, guys.
Oh, what? Come here. Come here, come here, come here. Come here. What?
Walking away from me when I try to pick him up. Okay, I don't like this shape.
Hey, quit digging up the carpet, man. Come on.
Makes you look gaunt. Let's see. He took it personally. You know what? I'm starting to think that he's taking it personally too. Just make sure it looks like I punched her in the face. Come on. Actually, that's better. That's not too bad. I don't like that big shadow there now, but we can fix that. We can chill that out. We can be bestest friends. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Better. I think that actually helps a lot more than I anticipated it would. So that's cool. If I went into studying Muka for this line quality, or the feel of his drawings, what would I look for? Trying to get better at analyzing. Oh, you asked the right person. I love Muka. Oh, okay. Okay. So, firstly, anything Art Nouveau is gonna lead you to Muka, right? So if you're looking for line quality or the feel of his drawings, it really comes down to how much he is able to imply, knowing that he's gonna put most of the effort of the rendering in just a few select spots, just very few. Let me take a second here. Let me pull something up. Alphonse Muka. That said, given that you're a very render-heavy person with your work, I would also recommend checking out his oil paintings because they're fantastic. And you can kind of see a little bit of his thought on both his flatter work and his watercolors and his oil paintings. Like that full scope of what he's capable of kind of helps piece together the whole thing, right? So let me pull up one of his maybe more recognizable pieces. There's so many. This one's really popular because I have to try to pick one that also is a bit more adult, like less adult, I mean. So let's do this one. So I'll be fairly quick with this, but dude, Cody, honestly, if you want to get into a call at some point, to go in depth, I'd be happy to do that, but I'm gonna keep it kind of quick just because I also want to try to get this commission work done. But if you take a look, the main thing is that the organization of his line weight is very specific. All of this stuff on the outside of her stays in like roughly this range of thickness the whole way through, except the moment that something else crosses that way, it's more likely to get a little thinner until there's a reason to pull it out again. Like, he gets thicker again over here because everything out this way is really thin, so it helps that pop out. It's all about peripherals for him. This is actually the way I like to do my line work too, essentially, is it comes with, like, her back, for example. Shoulder, thick, only right there, though, because it gets thin again as it hits inside of this thing. But, that line here for her elbow is still the thickest thing in this area. It's just that it doesn't feel like it because all of these little lines coming together, but that helps keep that clean, especially since all those lines stop there, right? But you continue to follow the line. So it stays thick out here, her shoulder comes around, it's still fairly thick comparatively here, except for right here for a minute because it starts to go away, and so he tries to keep that there, because if all this gets the same thickness, it'll get in the way of this right in here, that little pocket, right? But then it gets inside of her own figure here, where her own skin is overlapping itself, and again, it's light, it's airy, it's thin, and where it's thick, it's built rather than made, right? So he's building up the lines here rather than just going in hard. And then for a moment, he does the same thing. He builds this line up here for this elbow, but this whole arm is now a separate figure within the figure that is over top of everything else. It's in front, right? And so he keeps it really clean. It's still thicker than everything else around it, as far as, like, what else is here, right? And this helps keep it all so clear. It's just such an organizational thing. And then once it gets around to her frontier, it gets really thick again, right? Because it's like the outside of the figure. And so everything around these spots is highly organized in its line weight. And if you look, he doesn't vary the line weight super often. The cat's fighting, or are they just being gross? Sorry, just for the... Okay. My cat's got the zoomies right now, and I think he slid on some paper, and I thought it was a hiss. Anyway, so it's not that he doesn't do line weight at all, because if you follow one line, let's say, I'm going to follow the hair, for example, here, thick, 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 thinner, 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 getting there, maintain, 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 right? And then when it hits that overlap, it suddenly shifts to way thinner. Out in the figure out here, thick, 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 continuing, trying to maintain. It's all hand done, so it wavers a little bit, gets a little thinner few spots, but none of that needed to get any thinner for any reason, because he wants it like a sticker to just pop, right? But then you look at this ribbon, this bit of cloth that she's holding right here, it's thin, 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 and as it gets closer to this intersection, it slowly starts to get a little bit thicker. It's a bit more sudden at the intersection. It's fairly even out here, but you kind of can't stop that like natural progression of getting thicker anyway, just because that's the way the hand is. I think it tends to look that way. And I don't know what he used to get these lines, if it was a dip pen or I imagine it's probably a dip pen or some kind of technical pen. I don't know when rapidographs were first introduced, so I imagine it was a dip pen. Damn tyrant, run. Okay. But look at the lower half of the shape. Thick-ish, it's still thin. It's the same as the other side, thin, thin, thin. And it just gets thinner. And it continues to get thinner until it merges into these layered-in things. Because the part that mattered for that fluidity is this line. That's the one, right? This is important too because it maintains the shape and it makes it make sense. But it blends into all these other pieces. It's all about maintaining that flow of getting the cloth to become this pathway that she's standing on. So it's so very organized. You'll even notice it in the hair too, like occasionally when there's like a loop where all the lines stop, it's just a little bit thicker. Sometimes it's not. I think for this one, it's hard to tell because of the, you know, poor quality of the image. And then, after the line work is done, after all that's complete, and again, I don't know if he did the line work first. I imagine he probably did because it's so clean. And I'm a freak who likes to try to do my line work second with certain paintings, but I just make sure my pencils are really strong for that. I really got to get more comfortable with doing my inks first because it's better for your sanity. But if you look at the way he colors and renders, most of the rendering is done with the ink, and to be clear, he's not using black. Like, I don't think this is an edited picture. I think he used this like green ochre ink, or like a gold or whatever. Like you can see the 2-3 colors in here, right? All the rendering is done with the ink, and all the detail work with the color are specifically placed, with the highest contrast areas being of interest or having been, you know, the ink. So if it's just the coloring, there's a little bit of shading in her face, right? You can see where some of it's cooler when warmer, and he lets it all just sort of hang out there, kind of flat. It's a little bit lighter in a few select areas, which is why using watercolor or something like it is really good. An airbrush, a lot of people would probably use digitally. I would argue that a marker of some variety would be better, but that's a me thing. And then there's all these little details in the cloth that make it seem really clothy and to help inform the lights and shadows of her figure because he's a butt man. We like to think that he's not a butt man because he shows a lot of boobs and stuff, but come on. A man likes a good hip, okay? Yeah, I mean, it's complicated because when you have to sit down and do it, you've got to try to organize your own things, and it's very problem-solving heavy for this style. But it's actually pretty straightforward on paper, you know, like trying to organize it. So I rambled a lot. I've not looked at chat, so I'm going to take a look and see how you guys are doing if you like understood what I was saying. So yes, his flowers are crazy, dude. His flowers are so crazy. So implied stuff. Yes, I noticed that so far, at least what I thought was that he seems to focus on characteristics of a thing rather than going for a hyperactive. Yes, absolutely yes. It really is characteristic. And it makes it feel hyper real because of, you know, it gets the essence of it down, right? Like, look at this cloth, that's scribbles. Those are scribbles, you know. There's no fucking way that Mobius wasn't a fan of Muka. I'm just throwing that out there. I absolutely he had to have been. Among others, obviously. Like his flowers, for instance, there's a lot of flower shapes, but I wouldn't say that to a one-to-one flower drawing. Yeah, they're very clothy, actually, looking at some of them. And Cody, I do have some time. It would just need to be after Monday? Monday afternoon would be good for me. Anytime after 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock on Monday would be good. Yeah, just hit me up on Discord at some point, and I'll hit you up. Hey, Satan Cat, how you doing? Welcome to my stream. You caught me in the middle of a quick demo. I'm going back to work though, which is on this. So yeah, no, Cody. Honestly, if you're gonna start studying Muka, I would also highly recommend oh gosh, what's his name? I know his name. Hang on. Henry Clark is one. It's very gothy. Like he did a whole Edgar Allan Poe book, and it's just stunning work. And between Clark and Muka is also hang on. I always forget this guy's name. Geary? Is it Geary? I don't think it's Geary. Gurney? Let's see. Beardsley! Beardsley. Oh god, okay. Like, here's a famous piece of Beardsley's. No, no, wrong button. Come on. Here's Beardsley, and like, his is very minimal, very minimal. All of his contrast is straight binary and texture, right? Like, he's crazy. There's another person I would recommend, but I can't think of their name right now, and I'd have to go hunting, and I need to get back to it. But I'll see if I can't remind myself when we talk on Monday at some point. Yeah. Muka is I think maybe my first favorite artist. I grew up with his stuff in my home, and he's a favorite of the other artists of my family. Like, it's generational. I would absolutely love to have a Muka on my wall. We have a Klimt. We have I mean, it's a print, obviously. I know I'm saying it like, oh, I have a Klimt, like I own a piece. But we have a canvas print copy of Klimt's The Kiss in our living room, and I like it very much. But I'd love to have more art like it. So I've got some favorites I'd love to get. I just need to, you know, do some digging and pick some up. Saw a really fantastic Muka tapestry for sale somewhere. I might have to get it. Yeah, oh, dude, Gurney, James Gurney. If you're looking to learn color, go to James Gurney. Gurney is a fantastic resource. I love him. He's also just really nice. He's got a YouTube channel. He still talks about these things. I think I'm gonna just keep these V's as they are. I was gonna try to do some. Oh, actually, I can. I was gonna try to do some kind of braiding with it, but I'm gonna move this. Yeah, because I think it looks cool, but also one of the references does something like it, and I think it'd be reminiscent. Yeah, and I love a good braid. I love a good braid. That looks weird though. I'll keep that one there. Ugh, that creates such a tangent though. Okay, I can't force it. I've got to just let it happen. Alright, no braid. I like it, but it's just too claustrophobic in this area. It's gonna get tangents and it'll look really funky. Braiding does sounds cool though. Maybe I can fit it on the side. Like maybe if we just I mean, it's not terrible, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. No, it looks cool. It looks cool. I like that. Okay. Alright, we can maintain that. There we go. Yeah, dude, Cody, I do that all the time. I did that with Framed Ink. I still have it somewhere packed away after the move, and I still haven't read it. But, you know, you're right. I bought it, so I know it. And, like, I'm not much of a reader when it comes to art stuff. Like, I tend to, like, just look at the drawings and go, I understand what you are demonstrating to me, and call it a day, when that's not really what you should be doing. I should read it. I've had, like, multiple copies of Drawing with the Right Side of the Brain over the years, and I've still never read it. I don't really like the idea, though. I don't think the brain splits like that. I think that's actually been proven to be very silly, but it doesn't matter. That's not the point. I get it. I know. But, you know, what if I switch the direction? Oh, you know what? It looks cool too. Maybe I should just tone down the star thing here. This sounds like Batman Beyond music. Okay. Better save this. Yes, good progress. Okay. Honestly, I've been thinking about maybe, doing some demo classes at some point. I think my biggest problem with doing classes is that I tend to be very disorganized, and, like, I felt like my last class on inking was not where I would have liked it to have been, and, I can't do the follow-up that I intended on doing because it takes a lot of time and effort to do it, and I'm, like, burning out a little bit. I just did a little bit of a demo with Chicken yesterday. Like, sort of, going over, like, shape language a little bit. And, like, I miss teaching, guys. I was kind of hoping I could, like, pick up some in-person clients to teach at some point, but, I've not been able to, like, make the time to go out and, pursue that. But it's tempting to make that time. And I hate to say it, but it might also pay, which would be good. I would 100% teach for free if I could afford it. I just feel like knowledge isn't necessarily something that should be, paid for. Not that I shame or tell anybody else not to do that, because I totally understand, especially since it takes a lot of time and effort to build up the you know, curriculum and the skills and all that stuff. I just kind of wish I lived in a position in which I could just do that all the time, and I can't. Especially since it's not even like my dream. I don't want to be a free teacher. I want to be a comic book artist. I want to do my own things. Oh, dude, Star Hat. I got you. Oh yeah, Cody, Framed Inked is fantastic. He's got another one too, about composition. I forget what it's called, but, there's a few. If I come across my books and I find one that I think that you would like, I'll send you the titles and things. Star Hat, I'll do the same for you too. We haven't unpacked all of our books yet, and I've got a few still, I think, that are, in there. I don't own many art books, again, because I just don't read them. So I don't buy them. But I've gathered some, in some form or another, over the years. Oh, also, Cody, as you are looking for things to reference and learn, for, Art Nouveau, you need to be looking at, ornamental art. Like, think like wallpaper samples and, similar from, like, the Victorian era, or the 50s even. There's one in particular, called, The Grammar of Ornament, that is just it's just examples of printing styles or of wallpapers and cloth textiles and things, and they're stunning. And The Grammar of Ornament was hand done by one guy who was studying and making a collection of things. I forget his name, but it's on the Internet Archive for free. It's also on on at least there's a museum in, I want to say, Boston. It might be in Baltimore, but it's up in those states up there, called the Winterthur Library, and they've got, I think, a copy of it scanned on their website as well, because they have a copy. And there's just some really amazing examples of work in there that you will find will overlap with what you're looking for. And you can just look it up right now. Like I've saved pages from it, and it's from all over the place too. It'll have like, you know, more Greek styles. They have some medieval themed things. There's Indian like floral repeating patterns, and a lot of like Middle Eastern tiling work in there. Like it's stunning, and you should read it, or like, you know, look at it, because there's nothing to read. It's all images. It's the best picture book ever. Sorry guys, I'm very hyper. Do I like this shape? I think I like this shape. Yeah. There we go. Okay, I see a vision forming. That vision that I already planned, and I'm definitely not making it up as I go. I'm only kind of halfway making it up as I go. I know, Star Hat, you're right. I could make YouTube videos. I would actually like to make YouTube videos. I just also, I have a vision for what that looks like, and that is, more directed. Like, I want to make, I don't know if you've seen those, like, little PNG guys where they have, like, just, like, a talking head. So I need to make a bunch of those. And then, it's kind of, like, half animated. It's almost like those story time videos, right? Like, I just think it looks really good, and I don't want to put my face online anymore. I haven't taken all of my stuff down yet, but, I just don't want to, like, add to the collection, if that makes sense. I think I've mentioned this before. I don't really have a good reason why I don't want to do it. I can't articulate fully. I just feel like the way things are right now, I'm just not comfortable. It doesn't feel like a safe thing to do to put my face out there anymore. And maybe that's a little bit 60 minutes old of me, but, that's, I don't know. That's my thought process. You guys ever feel like YouTube thumbnails have become the new 60 minutes? Like, the 60 minutes was things like, your kids are getting high on old cheese? More at 11. And so all the families were like, not old cheese! We better get rid of all the old cheese in our house! Never again! Timmy, you've never had Gouda! Tell me you've never had aged Gouda! But, like, now it's, Flock is looking at your what? And you're like, oh no, what is Flock looking at? I hope it's not my wiener. Like, it's just what it feels like, is that same mentality of, like, how extreme can we make this sound? But, obviously, you know, it's clickbait, and 60 minutes was kind of clickbait, but they had, like, 60 minutes to exaggerate, or, you know, obviously they did some, like, really good interviews here and there, I think. I don't actually know that much. I'm just taking the impression of what I remembered it being like when I was a kid. I read on 60 Minutes that, if you, like, take the cheese and you let it age in your fridge for, like, 6 months, and then you just smell it, you just sniff it really hard, it'll be like, mind-blowing. I learned it from you! Yeah, exactly. Oh, dude, Star Hat, that's a mood. The voice acting. I've done a little bit of voice acting here and there for, like, my partner's projects. I don't think I'm super good at it, but, it is fun. And I would like to do more. But yeah, so, but yeah, YouTube videos are a lot of work, and, I've been a little bit, demotivated to do it because of some of the shit that they've been dealing with right now. There's people who do the same kind of work that I'm expressing that I would like to do, where they do story times or they talk about things and they use the little cartoon character to do it, or they are themselves animators and they make animations, and because they're cartoons or because there's pretty cartoon drawings in it or whatever, the YouTube algorithm goes like, this is for kids and you lied to us and now you don't get to make any money from it, and also we're gonna make sure that people don't see your thing, when that's not wholly accurate. Or if the artist in question was making an effort to make sure that they clicked all the right things for YouTube to say that they weren't making this for children, this is not for them, and they're still getting hit. And like, some of my content that I do, what I went for streaming, like some of the things that I do, certainly has an overlap in being child-friendly sometimes, but at the drop of a hat, I'll just start throwing some F-bombs in there and talk about adult stuff. So like, I'm not made for kids, and I don't want that accidental overlap on me either, especially since they take a lot of time and effort, and that can really mess with your, being seen, or if you're doing it for income, then the income, it'll affect that too. It's just a mess right now. I don't think it's a good place for me to do anything other than stream at the moment, but there are plans being formulated. That's all I'll say, because that's all there is currently, you know. 7 healthy foods that are actually killing you. Talking about nothing. Yeah, no, you're totally right. Yeah. Before I get into that, stick around the more. Yeah. No. Yeah. You guys are completely on the money. You're all as chronically online as I am. I'm actually not all that chronically online. I say that as a joke, but like, I will have been working at my computer all day and my partner will come home and they'll say something like, oh, did you hear about X, Y, or Z? And I'll be like, what? No. And, you know, he'll have picked up the news from like, you know, Twitter, social media, whatever, and it'll be real news. But I'll be like, I've just been on Clip Studio all day picking my nose. I don't know what's going on anymore. This world is too new for me. My bubble is starting to form. Arise, my powers of elderliness. Soon I will be in my middle ages. Just one more year and my life will be half over. I don't know why I'm doing an evil laugh there. Oh man. Giving her gloves underneath. She looks like she would overheat so fast. I'm ruining her life. Okay, so quick check-in. Later, Madara. Enjoy your sleep. Have a good night. And just a quick check-in, Star Hat. This torso, the direction that we're going in here, does that work for you? Is this... I should have asked you before I started inking everything, you know, but, you know, here we are. Oh, man. Ugh. Oh my god, I'm so sunburnt, guys. I even thought about it. So I had to take the bus to go to a doctor's appointment yesterday, but the bus stop that I needed to go to was a bit further away. And then when I was done with my appointment, the bus stop that I needed to go to was still further away because I missed the one that would hit closer. And I was like, I don't want to just stand there. I'd rather go walking. So I did. And I thought about it that morning, like, should I get sunblock on? Nah, it'll be fine. I'll be fine. I was wrong. You can't do that. If you have the thought to put on sunblock, you should always do it, right? I'm kind of kidding a bunch. Like, it's really, it looks worse than it is, but like every so often I'll move my shoulder and be like, ah, I felt it. Wow. Okay. The hand symbol was something, keep it generic, son. Yeah, that's no problem. Do you want to change the shape of the chest plate? doing some digging. Okay, so then I'll just leave this alone for now, and then I'll change the symbol when it I mean, I could just do the same like 6-point sun that I've been doing periodically through her outfit, like on her gauntlet there. So, oh yeah, we can do the spear. That's fine. So let me just make that note really quick. Cool. Saved. Okay. Yep. Okay. I'm actually gonna go ahead and erase part of the spear then, because I gotta move this part anyway. So it'll just be easier if I just replace that later. Ba-ba-ba. There we go. Looking good. Okay. I'm gonna switch back to that one. I like the chisel and all, but I think I want to keep this a little bit more even. There we go. What is it? Almost 5:30. And how long have I been streaming for? Okay, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Okay. It's not bad. I did get a late start today. Given that my partner came home and immediately went to sleep, I do believe that means I'm doing dinner tonight. So, I'm debating if I ought to stop soon to go ahead and make dinner. Or what? I think soon good. Actually, I wonder if maybe that zigzag makes more sense with just the one side. Dang, it actually does. Okay. I know making sense isn't always what needs to happen, but I also don't want this to look too much like the middle section of that robot character we were doing. So I'm trying to differentiate where I can. Yes. Nag Champa is a good choice. I need a new drawing glove too, actually. It is nice. It's, so like the incense I've been getting has been from a local smoke shop, and they've got a little bit of variety where with the scents, like they've got myrrh and frankincense and, sandalwood, I think is one of my favorites. We've got, like, Egyptian musk was really good. I'm trying to only pick the ones that sound like they come from a plant and not that they are a mixture of soap things. So I don't want to get, like, dragon's breath, because I don't know what it's made out of. But the ones that are, like, cedar wood are really good. I love incense. I need to get more. I just ran out. But Nagchampa, that brand is really good. That, like, the ornamental looking colorful boxes. The liquor store I lived nearby in Los Angeles used to sell them for really nice, and I just haven't found them again since coming out. Not that I've searched, not that I can't just go online, but you know. It was a low priority, I just haven't done it yet. Nippon Kendo. Okay, so it's Japanese incense, huh? Oh, are you sure it's not Kodo? Or am I just not reading it? Japanese incense and fragrance brands. Oh, I like the box. Ooh. Okay. It's pretty. I will keep an eye out. Japan's long-selling brand. Sandalwood looks good. The fragrance of our ancestors. I like the graphic design on the boxes. It's very pretty. It's very simple. I will have to check it out. There's always more room in my life for more incense. Okay, you know what? Star Hat, I had a brain blast. So we're running into the same problem here as with the robot, where the chest plate shape just doesn't work anymore. So I'm thinking here. Okay, let me cook, but it probably is going to end up being the same thing, where doing something a little bit more V-shaped is going to end up being the answer, just because she's very triangularly minded here. Let me do the mandatory feminine. Here we go. I don't like that those look like pecs, though. Hang on. Hold up, hold up. What we could do is continue this sort of... I gotta move her head over, because it's not right anymore. So if we have this here, down this way. Yep, 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 yep. Yikes. Let's try it again. I don't love that either. It looks too much like a jester, so let's try... Oh, I'll have to move her hair if I do this one. of repeating her belt buckle, maybe? And then she's got the cloth up here. I don't love that. Let me move her hair for now because it's kind of bothering me. I've got a copy of this, so it's okay if I mess it up. Let me get rid of that too. Let's just clear this all up. There we go. So if I were to reimagine this. Sorry, I just needed to stretch. Welcome back. Okay, so the idea is that this collar part of her top armor is itself a sun, going around like that. So we have Rey and Rey and Rey, and around the back it would be the same, or at least similar. That's my thought. And then even still, we could continue that, like, directional sunlight, essentially. And then just leave this area here kind of open, just because if there's too much stuff decorating it, it's going to be harder to read. So I'm trying to make sure I keep some of that clear where I can. Cool, cool. Okay. I want to try to get this one finished as soon as possible, because we've been kind of stuck on the same couple of them for a little bit. Just, you know, life was in the way for a lot of things, and I think it would be good to move on to the next things soon. Not me saying we shouldn't get it right, just saying I want to get this one locked in. That looks too turtle-shelled to me. I don't like that. That's better. There we go. I like that. You know what? You know what? We should just do the same. Maybe it's a little toothy. I'll keep it like that for now, though. Okay. Continue that braiding, like that there. Maybe giving her longer hair. This arm seems really long. I'm gonna raise this up. Okay. Taking a quick long look here. Okay. And then I'm gonna need to put some similar details down here, just to kind of balance her out. I think once I get the chains and things done here, or whatever it is I end up doing, it'll kind of do it for us. So for the moment, I think I do need to take like a real break. So I need to step away and start making dinner and doing some stuff. So for now, I think I'm done. I don't think I'll get back on tonight, but I will likely, potentially, stream again tomorrow. If I don't, I definitely will on Saturday. So, I'm gonna go ahead and just leave it here. Thank you everybody for, hanging out and, chatting. Star Hat, I'm gonna save a screen cap of this and send it to you so you can, like, look at it and see if this still works for what you're thinking of. I would like to try to refrain from making too many large changes on this one any further. There's a few proportional things I have to do, but as far as design, like, I want to try to keep it similar to where it's at. Obviously, if some of the, like, the little accoutrement things, like the little ornamental stuff, it starts to feel too busy. That's cool. But let's see where we go. What? I need brain food. Bye!